Yeah. She's getting all the beauty rest she can get.
Well, she doesn't need much.
I know.
Oh, everybody's stretching this morning.
I've been at work since 6, so no, there's no stretching.
Okay,
This shouldn't take long. Here.
this really shouldn't take long. Since it's a morning meeting, we don't have the students, and Lori normally runs the video when the students aren't here, but Lori also acts as clerk when Lori's not here. So when Tracy,
She subs.
yeah, so she's very busy. She's getting the camera set up for us, and then she'll come in and be our clerk.
Here she comes, smiling and profiling. There's Connie. She brought in a council lady too.
Oh, you're right on time.
Oh, minute.
A minute late.
Minute.
Now we're ready.
Morning, Chief. We'll call the meeting to order, and shall we call the roll?
Mr. Bradley?
Here.
You caught me in the middle of drinking coffee.
We waited until you turned your cup up.
Ms. Conway?
Here.
Ms. Singer Early?
Here.
Mr. Leslie?
Here.
Ms. Tingle Sam?
Here.
Mr. Showalter?
Here.
Ms. Tackett?
Yes, here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Thank you. We not only have a quorum, we have a full house early in the morning. Thank you all. Since this is a special called meeting, we only can talk about the items that are listed on the agenda. We can't talk about anything else or take any other actions. But we thought we'd go ahead and make this quick, but go ahead and do all of our steps. Each of you have a copy of the minutes. If there's a motion for approval.
Motion.
Thank you. Motion's been made. Second. And if there are no questions about the minutes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. No one signed up for public comments.
No wonder.
Too early. We're having our meetings in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. And the reason that we called this special meeting, it's not out of need for our budget schedule, but there were several other things that we needed to address and thought we could do the second reading of the budget at the same time. So next on the agenda is second reading of our fiscal year 18 budget ordinance with David and Connie as Finance Committee being co-sponsors. Mr. Hartley.
An ordinance of the City of Georgetown, Kentucky adopting the annual budget for the fiscal period July 1, 2017 through June 30th, 2018 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government. Summary, Section 1. Adopts by incorporated exhibit the fiscal year 2017-18 budget of the City of Georgetown, Kentucky as follows. Governmental funds, prior year revenues, $3,490,650. Municipal taxation, $2,314,600. Licenses and permits, $19,234,450. Fines and forfeitures, $146,000. Intergovernmental revenues, $6,461,586. Charges for service, $192,832. Other revenue, $34,680. Other financing sources, transfers, $934,526. Total city revenues, $29,318,674. Expenditures, general government, $1,452,160. City council, $187,220. City clerk, $246,249. Police, $6,538,438. Public Works, $3,605,089. Fire, $5,691,834. Code Enforcement, $237,762. Building Inspection, $505,964. Dispatch Telecommunications, $1,521,931. Utilities, $645,400. Community Services Interlocal, $5,463,659. Capital Outlay, $3,794,000. Debt Service, $1,037,246. Transfers to other funds, $1,882,372. Total city expenditures, $32,809,324,000. Proprietary funds, prior year revenues, $266,519. Revenues, sanitation, $1,945,000. Recycling, $29,000. Cemetery, $200,000. Intergovernmental revenue, $229,984. Other revenue, $6,330. Other financing sources, transfers, $947,846. Total proprietary revenues, $3,358,160. Expenditures, sanitation, $1,984,300. Recycling, $340,539. Stormwater, $886,882. Landfill, $85,000. Cemetery, $327,958. Total proprietary expenditures, $3,624,679. Section 2 authorizes the mayor, except as provided in Georgetown purchasing policy adopted in Municipal Order 11-028, to enter into any contracts or agreements necessary to fulfill the operation of city government within the allocations listed in this ordinance. Section 3 provides that if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is for any reason held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 4 provides that all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. The full text of this ordinance is available for examination in the city clerk's office, 120th Street, Georgetown, Kentucky, 40324, or at www.georgetownky.gov. Publicly introduced and read first time May 22nd, 2017. Publicly read second time June 1st, 2017.
Thank you. Second reading of the budget ordinance.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion, thank you.
Second?
Second, thank you. Any further questions or comments on the budget?
I have a quick one.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
sewer line to the south, that's in this budget, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the allocation
Our-
for it has been,
Our contribution that's in this budget is $250,000. We intend that be matched by the county, and then Lexington's $475,000 that is still in their budget at this moment, we think would create almost $1 million pool from local government to move the project forward.
okay. That's holding me up a little bit on voting yes for the budget, because I'm not in favor of the city spending the money for the sewer line, but, okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Can I just share something? And Karen knows this, I've said it every year, but, you know, there will be a day that will actually have to be voted on independent of this budget, and you know that as well as I do. So sometimes that gives me a little bit of comfort knowing that I'll have another opportunity to kind of discuss the issue, if that helps.
You know, I'm torn. Okay, go ahead.
Any other questions? If not, then we'll call the roll.
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Singer Early?
Yes.
Mr. Lesby?
Yes.
Ms. Tingle Samms?
All right, I'll listen to David and say yes.
Congratulations, David.
Yeah,
No, that's
first time I listened to David.
Let the record reflect.
Put that in the minutes.
Mr. Showalter?
Yes.
Ms. Tackett?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you. The most significant document that we passed during the entire year.
And the earliest I think I've ever seen it passed.
Yeah.
Seriously?
In the
Let's
month.
give us all a round of
I'm
applause.
serious.
In the
This is
month.
the first
Yeah.
time I've ever seen it pass.
First day-
Usually it's sometime into June, first
Yeah.
of July sometimes, but
Yeah,
first
we're-
day of June, good job.
Well, thank your finance committee. They did a ton
They
of.
do good work.
No.
And Stacy.
Stacy's
Stacy
mayor.
done a great job too, so
She
Good
deserves
job.
all the credit.
Good. The important thing is we have a budget once it becomes July 1st. The next item on the agenda is second reading of the personnel ordinance sponsored by Mr. Lesby. And as you'll recall, this ordinance alters one number, which is the upper number in grade 11 of our salary schedule. So, Andrew, if you'd read the summary, please.
An ordinance amending Article 4 of Section 2-111C of the Code of Ordinances to increase the maximum pay range of grade 11 in the schedule of compensation. Summary. 1. Amend Section Article 4 of 2-111C of the Code of Ordinances, which sets forth a schedule of compensation to increase the maximum pay for grade 11 to $103,809. 2. Provides for repeal of inconsistent ordinances, severability provisions, and an effective date upon passage and publication. The full text of this ordinance is available for examination in the City Clerk's Office, 100 North Court Street, Georgetown, Kentucky, or at www.georgetownky.gov. Introduced and publicly read first time May 22nd, 2017. Publicly read second time June 1st, 2017.
Motion.
Thank you. Motion's been made.
Second?
Second. And seconded. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Mayor, on this one, I do have a problem with, and actually, this is one of the considerations for not voting for, another one for not voting for the budget.
Yes, ma'am.
History in Georgetown has a tendency to repeat itself, as you well know. And this is the grade 11, there's too much difference in the amount of money that's in here, and we went through this once before. There's some similarities with what you're trying to do is to get the city attorney's salary into a grade 11, is with the increase, but it's very reminiscent of things that we had gone through in the past when Mr. Perkins was sitting as a city attorney. So that should have been maybe start to create a grade 12 if we're going to separate the attorney out with that. And how much was the increase for the city attorney's salary this year?
$16,000.
$16,000. You gave him a new title on back last year's budget, and there was no compensation for it. Is this compensation for that title?
The job description still hasn't changed. This is still the city attorney.
Okay.
And as we've, just some very recent events have occurred in central Kentucky, we've learned that we are probably underpaid in our city attorney position. This really came home to roost for us a little bit, Karen, when Frankfurt just hired a new city attorney who worked for the Kentucky League of Cities, had experience maybe equivalent to Andrews, I'm not sure, and Frankfurt hired her at $105,000. So I felt as though we had a very strong professional in the role, and it warranted this type of increase just for the city attorney role.
Have you given any raises? Have you given, outside of the three that was mentioned in the budget, have you given any raises over the last 2 or 3 years to anyone?
Only the ones that have come before the council where we've asked to move money in line items to change certain salaries. I've changed none that have not been posted.
I still think this is too much. Most of this is $25,000 or $40,000 or $30,000 difference, and this is a $40,000 difference. It just allows for the flexibility that's in there. I think it's a little dangerous. And if the city attorney is taking on the extra rows, then maybe it's time to think about putting that in a grade 12 all by itself and making that row distinctive over the others. So I'm going to.
And that's something that we'd be happy to talk about here. And it may be down the road that we want to, we took an action to actually eliminate grade 12. So down the road, it may be that we want to reintroduce a grade 12. But for purposes of getting this done, it seemed like working with Megan that the most straightforward way to accommodate it would be to simply raise this upper limit, knowing that significant salary changes that fall outside of raises that everyone gets will come before the council.
I see that, but I see a little bit of a danger zone just because a few of us have been around here to see the history come and go, and so I'm going to vote no on it.
Okay.
I'm probably going to vote no as well.
Okay, let's see, did, we had a motion and a second? And we just haven't voted yet. Okay, any other comment? Shall we call the roll?
Mr. Bradley?
Yes.
Ms. Conway?
Yes.
Ms. Singer Erling? No. Mr. Lesby?
Yes.
Ms. Tingle Samms?
No.
Mr. Showalter?
Yes.
Ms. Tackett?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is, we are ready to bring to you the approval of a contract with HDR Engineering for design, procurement, and project management of the infrastructure improvements at Lanes Run Business Park. We had talked about the internal committee that had scored these evaluations, and they, again, I was not on that committee. The committee decided that HDR met the needs that we had. We were delighted when we opened up their proposals, and it is about half of what we anticipated. So, and we have gotten a commitment from the county to be our full partner. So the good news is we think we've picked an outstanding firm to do the work for us at the business park, and the cost is significantly less than what we anticipated. And there is that is in the form of an MO, Andrew.
There's a municipal order and a contract.
Yeah, there's a municipal order and a contract.
Point out that there's, I think I said it in the email, there's actually two contracts. One of them is a phase one environmental study. They'll eventually put that into the contract and we'll sign it as one amount, but that, the amount in the MO is correct when you put the two together.
So we can read through the municipal order if you'd like, or
Take a motion?
we can take a motion.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on that contract? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And then on our agenda, excuse me, in fact, the last thing on our agenda, we have the opportunity to reapply for our VOCA grant, the Victim of Crime Advocacy Grant. And those applications, I think, are due tomorrow, according to the chief. So it was important that we get this council approval today, because it does require that little bit of match.
Do you need a motion, Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
Motion.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Motion made and seconded. If there are no questions about the VOCA grant, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. That
Motion to
concludes,
adjourn.
that concludes our agenda.
Awesome.
Meeting adjourned.
Get back to all.
Council meeting, can we? Can't do that on every city council
Oh,
meeting.
we can, but it's a nice occasion. We can try.
I want that this summer though.
Oh, right.
See you guys. Gotta go back.
Marvin, thank you
See ya.
for getting loose.
Thanks for your accommodation.
And it's like I go back and get my yogurt with money.
All right, we'll see you.
Talk again soon.
Thank you.
I got there.
Good job.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you what, he's just a charmer, isn't he?
You were supposed to bring him. We thought that's why you were
I
late.
almost did. I almost did.